So I've been watching and noticing probably a few times a day some videos popping up, basically using video of Inmendhams and manipulating it or what have you. So you know, Inmendham is totally capable of defending himself. So the only reason I'm making this video is because I see some things being done that to me are just a little sophomoric, and that's not why we're on YouTube. At least that's not why I'm on YouTube, and I thought that's not why some of these other people were on YouTube. It reminds me, and it's sort of funny. It just happens to fall into this pattern, but the majority of people doing it are women. And what's really strange, well, not strange, but when you're in high school, you get these little groups, these little cliques, and one little clique will pick on one person or pick on the other clique, and you think you always say, well, this will stop when I get out of high school, or you think, that's just a high school type thing, and then you get into the workforce and you realize that it's the same thing. The same thing goes on in the workforce. You get different cliques and different groups, and so do we really grow up? I don't know. I think of like they always have, they have the show Kids Say the Darndest Things, and they'll say things that are on their mind and they don't really know how to if it's rude or if it's mean. It's just they say what's on their mind. And then you see adults say how cruel it is, kids in high school, for like a group of kids to pick on the nerd or to pick on the fat kid or the person who's different. And really it's really hypocritical, because people get older and all they do is not do it in the person's face. They may do it behind the person's back, or they may do it in this case with YouTube. People are doing it because there is no real repercussion. This person A, is not going to hit person B in the mouth for saying it, because person A lives 400 or 500 miles away from person B, and so there is no repercussion. So people just feel free, or thousands of miles or whatever. People just feel free to take pot shots. And I don't know, I've been on, now it's sort of funny because there's certain people making comments on my videos. Some of them are these white supremacists, and I go on their page and they're taking pop shots too. Sort of under the radar. You wouldn't even know who they were, and they're grabbing Gary's videos and manipulating them, and I don't know. I just wish it would. I really wish it would stop. It's not making anything any better to sit there and press somebody's buttons just because you can. And what's really interesting is some people that are doing this are in their 60s, some are 40s, 50s. It's just really odd and professional, and yet we're falling into this clique mentality of, since we're all doing it, we all must be right. Or how about somebody stand up and say, you know what, I'm not going to perpetuate this situation any further. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to drop it and move on. I don't know. I can't figure that out. I can't figure out why people are doing this and why it keeps on going the way it's going. We could just drop it. Okay, that subject's been talked about, and instead of making more videos, knowing that you're pushing buttons, you just stop it and then let it all just sort of go away, and get on to the business of talking about, what I consider important subjects. Again, I brought up the white supremacist guy, which there are more than one on YouTube, and they had some comments, and I got a lot of views on it, basically because I thought the title probably caught a lot of people, but really it just went back to, well, let's get a rise out of Inmendham, and let's and just because you have people saying, yeah, that's great, ha ha ha, that's funny, it doesn't make it right, because the same thing happened in high school. Ha 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 ha. That's funny. That's funny. The same thing happens for these kids who are videotaping premeditated beatings of people that they lure into their house, and they're saying, ha 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 ha, that's funny, check it out on YouTube, ha 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 ha. But it's not funny. It's not funny. And it's not funny. And if it is funny and you're doing it at someone's expense, then that's just wrong. There's basic decency that would say that you shouldn't do that. So, I'm going to get off my soapbox here, but I just thought I'd make this video, not because I'm an Inmendham crony, or I'm kissing Inmendham's butt. It has nothing to do with that. It's just I see things that go on, and some things, are wrong to me, and this is just one of them that's wrong. I wasn't privy to what happened the last month, so I don't know where all this came from exactly as far as To Be Serious goes. I didn't realize there was a falling out about a month ago. I got caught up a little bit on that. But, the only way to... we're doing what we say is wrong. Where, people say, oh, let's make peace, not war. Well, peace starts with yourself. And if you're going to make peace, then, stop making videos about it. And that's that simple. Put down your stones. And let's get to some more productive conversation here on YouTube.